Hello, this is take 3. I hope this is the right clip that I'm supposed to use, but we'll see once I actually get into this. But first, I should introduce myself. I am Ethan. I am one of the co-hosts for Beneath the Dungeon, podcast about game design and like design choices and stuff. Uh, this is not that. This is something similar, but it's not quite a Beneath the Dungeon episode. There will be more Beneath the Dungeon episodes coming. We just got a bunch of new equipment, so that's cool. But this is really just an excuse for me to talk about Slay the Spire for an hour-ish and kind of show off just a little bit. But it's mostly because I thought it would be fun. I downloaded an app called Outplayed, which automatically records your gaming sessions. And it just so happened to capture the the run that got me from Ascension 19 to Ascension 20 on the Silent. Now, if you don't know anything about Slay the Spire, you're probably going to be very confused watching this. I recommend checking out the game or like watching, like more beginner-friendly videos. This is the second hardest difficulty, so it's not beginner-friendly. Very much not beginner-friendly. It took a long time to get to this point, to where I'm currently at in this game. I'm trying to beat Ascension 20 with all 4 characters. I have beat it on Ironclad. I got an Ascension 20 hard kill with Ironclad, and thanks to this run here, I now have to do it with the Silent. I am currently on Ascension 20. Haven't done it yet. It's really hard. This run was one of many, many, many runs that I tried and failed for the most part to get there, but we got there eventually. I don't expect this to become like a regular thing of me like breaking down runs or anything, or like doing this kind of video. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. This does seem pretty fun, but I am on take 3, so it's been a bit of a process. I might stream Ascension 20 heart runs at some point. That would be really fun. I have thought about doing that, but nothing's set in stone, and this isn't set in stone either. This is just fun little thing that I wanted to do. So without further ado, I'm going to play the video. It's going to start from the menu, character select, and I'm just going to commentate, talk about choices I made. I almost always go max HP plus 6. I used to do the next 3 enemies have 1 health, but I like the max HP, so you learn not to rely on the 1 HP. I try to do that a little bit more. Sometimes. It really depends. I go back and forth on it. Sometimes I prefer being able to like build my deck out the way I want to without like the pressure of needing to survive these early fights. But I feel like if you can't survive these early fights, then you're probably not going to survive the rest of the run. Easy slimes. No biggie. Well-laid plans, really good. It's just like, even now, like being able to manipulate what cards I'm playing and what cards I can keep. I see I just was able to retain that strike. Like, it's not a huge thing initially because you don't really have that great of cards to save and play later, but it gives you 1 extra card in your hand, and when it's upgraded, it gives you 2. So very nice, very good card. Jawworm fight is it's so ingrained in my brain. Just all of these early game fights are. That's why I'm going so fast, and like not really on autopilot, but kind of on autopilot through these early fights. Because like Jawworm, I've fought him so many times. I know his attack patterns. I know what he's going to do. I know about when I'm going to kill him. I know what I need to do on like particular turns. So this is nothing new. Yeah, it's usually about at 10 strength, sometimes 15 strength, depending on how the card draw happens. It really depends on when you get that neutralized in your hand, and that's why Well-Laid Plans is such a good card, because you can choose to keep it in your hand on the turns. If you draw it on the turns where he's just defending, you can hold on to it for next turn. Picked up Sneaky Strike. Sneaky Strike's really good. Just like source of energy. Why am I blanking on the word? It refunds its energy cost if you play it under the conditions it asks you to. And card draw and discard is very strong with the Silent, especially on higher ascensions. It's just a nice, tidy solution for a lot of things. I just realized I could have just killed him there. I had lethal cards in my hand. I didn't have to take that extra damage, but oh well. That's God, what a silly mistake. Yeah, I pick up dagger throw here, just something to like add a bit of extra damage into my deck, and also proc that sneaky strike a couple more times, maybe a little more easily. Because other than that, I just have survivor to rely on, which survivor is good, but being able to do it as an attack instead of a skill is important, especially for Gremlin Knob. Especially for Gremlin Knob. God, Gremlin Knob's such a pain in the ass. Especially with Silent. Like, the Act 1 bosses are really all about front loading your damage as much as you can. Like, you want to be taking attack cards. You want to be, like, taking cards that you know are going to win you the fights against the elites. And what's going to win you those fights is heavy damage in this first act. Like, Gremlin Knob, he doesn't like skills. He's going to directly, like, scale up to every skill card that you play. I just wobbled the mic. Probably shouldn't do that. He's going to directly scale up with every skill card you play. Lagavulin is going to reduce your strength and dexterity, and at higher ascensions, it's by 2, like every 3-4 turns, something like that. Once he's activated, yeah, upgrade that well-laid plans. 2 cards, 2-card retain. Yeah, this guy. I'm actually not entirely sure if this is the run that I won. There might be one in between this one, or this might be the last one between like all the failed runs and then the one that actually got me there. But it might be. I really don't know. I only say that because I'm about to fight Lagavulin and I don't have any poison. Uh, I usually prefer to fight Lagavulin with poison if I can, because of that dexterity and strength drain. Poison isn't affected by that, so you can just stab him with poison daggers or like hit him with the bouncing flask. What's another one? The deadly poison card. Like, there's a lot of good options for dealing with him when it comes to poison. But no, it looks like I was able to kill him before that, which is ideal. That's very ideal. That's what you want to happen. If I would have let him do the thing he was trying to do, I would have lost 2 dexterity and 2 strength, and probably would have died because I had no real answer to that or solution for that. Uh, Another pretty good fight that I'm pretty well set up for. Sentries are a huge pain in the ass. They all are, but the dazes that they put in your deck make it really slow to card draw. But retaining cards helps with that a whole lot. Like here, I was able to hang on to these 2 defends. That way, I had them to play along with the 5 cards that I drew. And once you're drawing 3, 4, 5 dazes every turn, you're gonna want to be able to block. You're gonna want to be able to do stuff. It's very possible to draw dead hands, especially the longer this fight goes on. Now, since I have well-laid plans, I'm not as worried. That's why I didn't just kill that last sentry on the right, because I can just do it next turn when it's a little more impactful. Block all this damage this turn. See, now I can dagger throw, discard that, sneaky strike the one on the right to kill him. Dagger throw the one in the middle, so that way it lays in that damage on him and doesn't go to waste by me like sneaky striking the one on the right and dagger throwing him. Just dispersing it out, making sure that the cards you're playing make sense, the targets you're targeting make sense. You want to try to avoid over damaging when you can. I think I discarded the strike here. See, if I didn't have well-laid plans, I probably would have discarded a dazed just for the sake of being able to play more cards. But since I can just hold on to stuff, it's unfortunate there. I didn't have anything to play in response to that. But see, now I was able to hold on to that tactician, discard it, get the energy back, hit him, block for 5. It's just really nice. Well-laid plans. Big fan of that card. Yeah, see, now those aren't useless. I can just hold on to them and play them when they're more useful. Also, I'm noticing that it's a bit quiet, so I'm going to angle this up and hope that that's better. That's probably going to be a pain in the ass for me to fix later, but anyways. So now it's just a matter of doing what you got to do. I think, yeah, discard the daze. fight's not going to last long enough for that to matter anyways. And then you can just hold on to that survivor. As long as I've got that survivor, he can't kill me in one turn, which is nice. And I win. Choose your bracelet. Choose your bracelet's cool. Dagger spray for sure. Take that very often on higher ascensions. Helps with a lot of fights. Oh yeah, Shrieking, so good. That's right. I'm just like remembering this run as I was going through. I think I took adrenaline here. Yep. This is definitely the run that won it. Shrieking's really nice because it's just really, really good scaling strength. It makes the fight against Lagavulin a lot less scary because he's gonna drain 2 of your strength. But if you can just play a bunch of attacks, or at least play 3 attacks per turn somewhat consistently, you're gonna be able to keep up with that. Oh yeah, very unfortunate to get your power cards at the very end, but we got there. Let's see, now I've got the good cards in my hand that make me do lots of strong things. Although playing Dagger Spray before playing a strike to get my strength up another one was kind of silly on my part. Just things you notice after the fact. Yeah, see, because I had Shrieking, I was able to completely nullify the -2 strength, get Dead Branch, one of the strongest relics, in my opinion, in the game. Especially with Silent. Silent has a lot of good synergy with that. Not as good as Ironclad, but still pretty dang good. Oh yeah, and then I just get an Apotheosis from this, which is super ridiculous. Just every card upgraded for the rest of combat. And then from here, it's just really off to the races. I'm only at 34 health, but I have enough to keep myself alive, and I can block all of this. And funnily, like the Hexaghost, the only enemy in the game that has this kind of like mechanic, apparently. But this second turn attack, is based on how much health you have at the time. So if you enter this fight lower health, he's going to do less damage to you than he would if you entered at full health. So because I was low, it was actually a benefit here. I just hang on to these defend pluses, prepared plus, get rid of those, sneaky strike, escape plan. Just beating him up, really. Hang on to those for next turn. He's already at 35 health. Yeah, this run went really, really well. I did get pretty lucky with some of the RNG, like Dead Branch greatly increases how much like RNG factor goes into whether you win or not. Wristblade, yeah. With Shriekin, with Dead Branch, I definitely want to pick up some shivs, and I do end up picking up some shivs. Like that 0 cost is really good. I think I end up picking up an accuracy too. I know for a fact I pick up a what is that card called? What is that power card called? 1,000 Cuts. Oh man, the muggers. Act 2 is where I die the most, I feel like. It's just the difficulty ramps up so much. This is where your deck really gets put to the test. Luckily, I picked good cards. And got good cards to pick. Hang on to those Dagger Sprays for next turn. This is why Dagger Spray is usually a pick for me, just because this AoE is really good. And against the birds, I think this guy gets away. I hate when they get away. Stealing my damn gold. Yep. Gets away, and there's nothing I can do about it. God damn it. Yeah, Tools of the Trade's good. Blade Dance, very happy to see a Blade Dance after getting Shriekin and Dead Branch. Not going to get the Apparition. I've gotten some good runs with that a couple times, but I was hoping for Tactician there, but did end up getting it. Did get Adrenaline, though, so that's good. Oh, I didn't even mention like the tools of the trade pick. Yeah, with like discard and having the sneaky strike, having a tactician, like tools of the trade's really nice because you can just get that for you can set those off for free. So I usually tend to snag that if I've got a sneaky strike or a tactician or a reflex, any of like the discard stuff. Yeah, another nice thing about well laid plans is you don't lose your cards to your discard pile if you don't want to. So tools of the trade gets to stay in my hands until I have an opportunity to play it. That's likely I probably would have redrawn it or something at some point. Would have been able to play it. Something would have happened to let me play it, but I prefer like having it comfortably nestled in my hand. Yeah, see, tools of the trade was able to just discard the tactician immediately, and he's dead. Between the scaling of the Shriekin and the wrist blade, it's really off to the races from here. Discard that for free. Kill old boy. And then play that after image. I think Blur, yeah. Blur is nice. Nightmare, I hate Nightmare. I hate that card so much. I have never had a good Nightmare run. And, maybe that's on me. Maybe I'm just bad at the game. Maybe I'm bad at using that card. But, I've never had a good Nightmare run. They've always just gone terribly, terribly wrong. Setup is cool. I do like setup as a card. I don't use it super often, but when I do, it is really nice. Especially the upgraded, like being able to just manipulate your deck around for free. Just extra deck manipulation, extra like control over what you're playing and when. And also just reducing the cost is really nice. Yeah, take out bear, fuck bear. I always fight these dudes. I don't care if I can take the fight or not. I'm gonna fight them and I'm going to win. Or die. Usually die. That being said, Nightmare can be very strong. Not saying it can't be. Just that I'm bad at using it. And he's dead. And I get Red Mask. So that's fun. That's good. Oh yeah, that's right. I had to run away from the elites. It was very embarrassing. But get a card remove, get upgraded dagger throw. Yeah, not gonna take the curse. I used to take curses a lot more because I was like, oh whatever, I'll just remove it. And that's totally true, but could be removing something much more important, like one of the starting strikes, one of the starting defense. Get to discard tactician. Get to do that. Get to sneaky strike. Yep, debating it out, wondering what's the right move here. So like I was saying in the beginning, like you end up just like flying through those fights because you've done them so many times. You know exactly what you have to do. But in these later fights, it's a lot more varied. Like for one, you've got more cards. I had Grand Finale up. That's so satisfying. Love Grand Finale. I'd love to play it sometime. Man, when you can get Grand Finale to work, it's really good. Oh yeah, Prepared for Lizard Tail. That was such a good trade. Thread and Needle. Thread and Needle's pretty dang good. I was sad to not be able to get the book there. I remember that. Ended up working out. Ended up not needing it, but book is always nice. Bird Face Turn always helps. A little bit of extra sustain. I don't have many powers that I'm playing, but the ones that I do play just become that much more useful. Get the tools of the trade. Noxious Fumes. Yep. All looks very familiar. And from here, I think it was pretty like clear that I was going to maybe not win just yet, but like I knew I was going to get pretty far. I knew I was on the right track. Uh, and a lot of it just came down to like Dead Branch and Shrieking for shivs is really, really strong. There's really no way around uh, how strong that can get, especially if you just lean super heavy into it. And like that on top of having already like a pretty solid discard uh like deck. I don't want to call it like a discard deck. It was a deck that was good at discarding. And it and at cycling through my entire deck, keeping that energy generating, uh just having that stuff like the Shriekin, the Dead Branch, and then snagging Wristblade on top of that makes you pretty strong. I also really like Predator. I don't like Predator this late. Uh, like I would not have picked that up. It's only in my hand because of the Dead Branch. But early, when you're still trying to get like heavy damage cards against the Act 1 elites, definitely picking up a Predator. Unless I have a better one already. But usually I'll try to snag one of the like 15 to 20 damage cards in the early fights if I can. And like Sneaky Strike, just with how well it synergizes with so many other things, I usually will end up picking up a Sneaky Strike if I see one. Oh yes, man, Masterful Slab, Calculated Gamble, beautiful combination. And held on to one of the, what's that card called? I literally just saw it. Uh, Endless Agony. Held on to one of the Endless Agony so it'd keep duplicating because I've got Wristblade, so zero cost cards is all zero cost cards, including Master Stab, Masterful Stab. Endless Agony also counts towards that. Bouncing Flask. Also, I picked up Fossilized Helix, which is really, really good. Just having that buffer, like being able to block one big chunk of damage for free, uh, is just really, really nice. Oh yeah, and then it started. This is where it started getting really ridiculous. I was just like, oh, I have a Wraith form, and I can hold on to it until I need to play it. Oh, a second Wraith form, in my deck. Cool. That's pretty dope. 2 Wraith forms. That's 4 intangible. I'm losing a lot of dexterity, but if I'm intangible, it doesn't matter. Discard the Tactician. Dagger Spray to take out a whole chunk of them. And meanwhile, like my strength is up to 7, 8 now because of Shrieking, just being able to play a bunch of cards. I'm able to sit there and stack that up pretty high. I played that one for the card draw and energy next turn along with the exhaust. Get a new card. And now I have 5 energies. Make that 6 because of Tactician. I got tools in the trade in play, so I can just discard it for free. And Nightmare is actually relevant. I'm able to actually do things with it. But only because I have 6 energy. Like, if I didn't have 6 energy through generating a whole bunch by means that aren't necessarily like easy to reproduce, that's the thing that I really don't like about Nightmare is that it's very situational. So it's hard to know what situation you're gonna be in that's going to be ideal to play Nightmare. So like this one worked out. I had Wraith Form in hand, I had Nightmare in hand, I had 6 energy, so I was able to play both of those. Yeah, now I just like infinitely stack up Wraith Form and just yep. And there's another Wraith Form there, right there. Boom, done. I hold on to that, and I think yeah, both of them, and then just the rest of the fight like it goes on kind of slow. Or actually no, doesn't actually go on kind of slow. I think I just kill him right here. I don't know what I'm taking so long for. Just kill him. You have everything you need in your hand. Just take him out. Probably gonna edit this out. So this is more of a note for myself to edit this. Finally, Jesus, took forever to make that card play. I don't know why. I must have like walked away and started doing something else for a second. Oh yeah, this is an easy 1,000 cuts with kind of leaning more into Shiv's base damage, especially with the wrist blade, the dead branch, like just being able to do a little bit more damage with every card played, do AoE. 1,000 cuts is really good AoE, especially for stuff like this, like thorns, like that thorns fucking sphere or whatever. What is his name? Spiker. I think his name's. I think they're called spikers. Uh, that thorns is going to get very, very, very high very fast. See, like I'd love to play Dagger Spray here, but I'm not going to because that would do 14 damage to me, and I don't want that. So we can discard that, do that, play 1,000 cuts. I think this is the slow fight I was thinking of. And I do take damage here, unfortunately. Gonna have to do no damage runs at some point. Just never take a single point of damage. Is this another point where I just walk away and like go do other things? Why would you walk away from Slay the Spire? That doesn't make any sense. Oh man, I was really slacking on these card plays. Okay, well, from here, it was pretty clear to me that I was gonna win. Just because, man, like again, that shrieking dead branch wrist blade, and then snagging 1,000 cuts after that. Also, I didn't even mention it, but like the bag of holding, along with or no bag of holding, bag of preparation. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Whatever it is, that bag, that backpack, along with the here he is. He's come back to play cards. Uh, both of those, you're just drawing like so many cards turn one that you can play the stuff you need to play a lot more often, a lot more reliably. Oh yeah, this turns into a real snail's pace fight because I don't want to hit him. I can't hit him with anything. If I do, I'll take way too much damage. Can't afford to take that much damage. So instead, I'm just going to play like defends, powers, like just a bunch of random stuff. Whatever I can get away with playing that isn't going to do too much damage to me or any damage. And slowly chip him down one health at a time. Yeah, see, I can get away with playing that, but only that. That took away my entire armor. And then I don't remember if choke ever became like a relevant factor in this fight. It may have, but I don't think so. Yeah, nah, definitely wasn't. Distractions was really nice here because that's 2 cards that I can play for the price of 1 energy, which is 2 damage. Yeah, see, his spikes are up to 17. I can't touch that. That's just that is I would have to generate so much block to be able to damage him on a turn where he was attacking me too. So I was just like, nah, I'm gonna just slow and steady wins the race. A little too slow. I'm just like sitting here not doing anything. How many times am I gonna just walk away from the computer? There he goes. Okay, cool. Back into it. Yeah, don't need bullet time. Don't need that. And then just the waiting game. Yeah, discard tactician, play 3 defends, and kill him. Cool. Yeah, acrobatics plus, man. Yeah, easy pickup, especially with all like the card draw and discard shenanigans I'm getting up to. Got some gold here. I think this was one of those runs where I ended up with a lot of gold at the end of the fight. But all the way in Act 3 already. And it's Donu and Deku, which I was pretty confident against. All I really need was a corpse explosion, and then win. Just kill them. Man, I'm surprised I went with Dagger Throw over Blade Dance. I guess I was hoping for Tactician, but oh well. Lost the barrier to 4 damage, which is kind of unfortunate. Well laid plans, of course. Gotta play the powers. Hit that Blade Dance, get those shivs. Oh man, so much damage. Didn't block all the damage he did to me, but that's okay. We still have skills that we can, or powers we can play to get some health back. There he goes. Does exactly that. Oh man, 10 damage though. Yikes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Accuracy plus. Those shivs are gonna end up doing so much damage. Just the scaling is really what's important. Like with that, especially because I'm not fighting the awakened one. Like I can afford to pick up some powers. Oh god, 3 Jawworms. Worst nightmare. I took so much damage in this opener. Oh, yikes. Yeah, I was a bit worried this fight that I wasn't going to be able to pull it off. I thought they were going to just kill me before I got like my crazy like discard stuff going. But it ended up all right. Yeah, finisher, another really good card. I'm always really happy picking up a finisher uh, early in Act 1 because that kind of just neatly solves a lot of your damage problems. Oh yeah, make tools of the trade free for sure. Another fight that I'm not like super concerned about going into it. I probably should have been a little more concerned. If I remember right, this guy does quite a bit of damage to me in this fight, and it's not what you like to see. But generally speaking, with the way that my deck is set up, like pretty solid against this guy. He takes more damage the more cards you play, and I'm all about playing a whole bunch of cards. So it works out. And then I even get a free Infinite Blades from Dead Branch. Yeah, Adrenaline, Acrobatics. Can't remember if I ended up doing Wraith Form. I think I did. Yeah, it's just so much damage. And then Fletchettes after that. Handful of skills. Fletchettes is really fun. I have never like used it as the base of my damage. I don't think like as the main damage dealer for my deck, just because it's not as reliable. Like you're generally not going to be getting this many cards in your hands, so it's not as worth it. I mean, it's ideal to get this many cards in your hand, but it doesn't always work out that way. So it ends up being a little lackluster. And then kill him. Yeah. Did take a good chunk of damage, but that's okay. Smooth Stone's really good. Really good pickup with Smooth Stone there. Just extra block. Really, I would have loved to have seen another like kunai, another scaling from playing 3 attacks, and like Ornamental Fan would have been really nice. But alas, we won anyways. I don't remember if this guy did a lot of damage to me or lady. This lady, I should correct myself on that. I think so. I vaguely remember taking a good bit of damage in this fight. Maybe not. Maybe I just killed all of them. Killed her, killed the daggers really quickly. It is possible. Stranger things have happened. Oh man. Beautiful hand. Just draw all the cards you need right there. Look at that. And then just Storm of Steel. Boom. 17 damage shivs that are also doing, what is that, 4 damage? One from one from Thousand Cuts, 3 from Choke just for playing them, and then also just pulling those cards afterwards, prepared with a Tactician in hand. And he's done. Goodbye. Akabeko. Love to see Akabeko, especially on silent. Yeah, just skip. Don't need any of that. Paper Crane. Love to see Paper Crane. This guy again. Already beat him once, so I know I can beat him again. Lay those plans down well. Get real accurate with it. And then just start wailing on him. Pull that adrenaline. Boom, boom, boom. I do lose the buffer here, which looking back, I might have blocked. Probably would have blocked. Of course, hindsight, 2020 and all that. But I'm just saying, losing that buffer is a real shame. Hate to see it go, but that's all right. Oh man, look at all those shivs, all these cards being played, and then I get a second Thousand Cuts and a backstab. Oh, it's so mean. Dead Branch is so mean. Yeah, just keep throwing cards at him. 19, 21, 22, 24, 27, and he died. Nunchaku on top of already playing a whole bunch of cards. I don't remember if I took Envenom here or not. I don't think so. Yeah, I was going to say. I don't think I did. Malay's very good, especially against Act 2 elites. I did do something I don't usually do, or I'd never done before, and I took Frozen Eye, which is really interesting, which was really, really fun to play with. It made it like a, I don't know, it was everything suddenly became like much more calculated, and you're going to see like I took a lot more time just like making decisions, because when you can see everything that's coming your way, you can make better informed decisions on what you want to do. Fight a boss from Act 1. Hexaghost, no big deal at this point. Just, yeah, beat him up. Yeah, Tactician Plus, very good. Yeah, see, now that I'm fighting him again, did I talk about that in this take? I don't remember. Did I fight Hexaghost at the beginning of this video? I honestly don't know. If I didn't mention it, I'm gonna just mention it again. Turn 2, if that was from a different take, oh well. If it was from this take, sorry, you're gonna hear the same thing again. Hexaghost on turn 2 will attack you based on how much health you have. So if you enter the fight low health, he's gonna do more damage. If you come in high health, max health, he's gonna do a whole lot of damage. But as you can see, doesn't matter. I malazed him. He's got -5 strength. He's really can't do a whole lot to me anymore. He's been effectively neutralized. So yeah, now I can just kind of ride this fight out. Get rid of that second tools of the trade. It's really not necessary. More of a hindrance most of the time. Oh yeah, 2 sneaky strikes. Yeah, this fight got really ridiculous. Eviscerate, 2 eviscerates, and then he's just dead. Boom. Just like that. Easy. And then gambling chip. That's right, I got gambling chip right at the end here. So I can just go through my hand over and over again. Or not over and over again. I go through, get rid of all the stuff I don't need after drawing like not most of my cards, a good chunk of my cards, between Ring of Snake and the bag. Yeah, at this point I started running into the problem of like, now I've got too many cards that are good to play, and I have to choose between all these good cards to play. What's the most important card to play? Yeah, see, I start looking at my draw pile a lot more. So I know I'm going to draw that Tactician, so I don't play Adrenaline. Instead, I hold on to it. And yeah, just get rid of the Catalyst. It keeps giving me Catalyst. I don't have any poison, so that's really silly. Don't need that. See it? Oh man, yeah, and then I can discard the Tactician. Plus, I still have the Adrenaline, so now I end up with 6 energy. I miscalculated there. Let a Shiv go out the door. But I got another Adrenaline, so it's fine. And I can do that. I can actually use the Catalyst. Dagger throw. And check and see if I'm actually going to get the block or not. Like, it's Frozen Eye was really cool. I had never played with that, and I got to see like how that can be very, very strong, very useful. It does just make your turns take a lot longer, because then you start thinking a lot more. Let's see, so I know I'm going to get those 5 cards. So I know I'm going to be able to play Acrobatics and Sneaky Strike, which is then going to draw Malaise and those other 3 cards down at the bottom. It's just going to completely cycle my deck. See, I could draw Expertise, or I hold on to Expertise, get rid of the Defend, Sneaky Strike. And then just wail on him. I can do this. Didn't end up needing that. Expertise, have plenty of cards in my hand. But maybe there will be a turn where I don't have plenty of cards in my hand, and I could use the Expertise. Now I'm just flexing on him. I don't really need to do any of this. He's just going to die. Cool, and that's that fight done. Last fight. I think I take the Noxus Fumes. Oh, no, I don't, actually. Apparently I decided I don't need it. And then with just a single upgraded 1,000 cuts, throw the Explosive Potion. So, yeah, this fight, I remember looking at my draw pile a lot. So I'm looking to see what is going to win me the fight most effectively. It's a great success. Oh yeah, play the Dexterity Potion so that way I lose the buffer or block the first 12 damage and then just lose buffer for the next one. Yeah. Now the slaughter commences. I'm just wailing on him. Oh yeah, another Sneaky Strike, so I'm able to just keep generating energy, get another 1,000 cuts. Why not? keep doing more and more damage. I still have Lizard Tail, so I was just like, whatever. I'm not even worried about this. He's about to die. Dick is about to die. Got all these great cards in my hand that I can just play. And I sitting there looking at what's coming next. Got another free adrenaline. I think at some point I just started throwing cards out just because I could just play cards and win. Even though I stopped playing cards there for a second. And there you go. See, didn't even need Corpse Explosion. I was just that baller at this point. I was able to just straight up kill them. Which is not always easy. Definitely not always as easy as this makes it look. This makes it look really easy. This run just happened to go in a direction that was very favorable. And I like to think I also just made good choices in picking up cards. But yeah, come on now. Like 2 sneaky strikes, that's a little silly. I would not have picked that up. I would not have purposefully put those in my deck. But worked out, and I won. This was a really fun run. It was. This had come after like a lot of frustration in not being able to climb as the silent. The silent's hard, man. Like, especially after like just mastering. Well, I don't want to say mastering, but like getting really good at Ironclad and focusing Ironclad. So when I first started going for like the 20s, I was playing only Ironclad, and I played only Ironclad for like 3 months until I finally like relented and started playing other classes. I didn't have everything unlocked because I was only playing Ironclad, and unlocking everything made that way easier. So I'm glad I did that. But Silent has just been a struggle, big struggle. But oh well. We learn, and obviously I am picking up some stuff because I got Ascension 20, which I don't think I would have been able to do by just like throwing cards out until something happened. And I like to think that this video shows that I'm not just throwing out cards until something happens. I'm actually thinking a little bit about, what to play, when to play it, trying to understand the game a little bit more. But I hope you enjoyed. This was fun to make. Just been sitting here talking about Slay the Spire for like an hour now, so that's cool. I'm not going to ask if you want to see more of this because I'm not going to guarantee that you will see more of this. And with that, I leave you.